What's up, guys? Spoiler Doctor back again. I got my chicken poop breakfast shirt on today. I hadn't had many videos on here lately. Had vacation and working on some crazy stuff that's been really tough to figure out, wiring issues on both of these bikes. And I think I got them figured out. But I'm gonna do a little something different today. There's a bunch of these videos on YouTube, and I'm gonna make one of these for my little boy's four-wheeler, that mini monster that's in a couple videos back. And I'm gonna work on doing a LED whip for his little four-wheeler. Actually, this is just a regular old CB antenna one of my buddies gave me, as a matter of fact. So we're gonna wrap that thing in some LED lights. And I bought a controller, kind of looked online at some other folks' videos at some ideas on the stuff to get. And the controller is pretty much just a little thing here. There's a little brain box in there, plugs into a 12-volt plug. Right now I just have it plugged into the wall outlet, but I actually have some of these 12-volt plugs on order. I'll post links to all these things in the description. These lights here are BTF lighting. They are pretty cool lights. They're not just your normal old red, green, blue lights. I believe you have, and I might be wrong at this, but I believe the LEDs in here actually have multiple colors in one LED, and you'll see that when I get them all put together. They do some pretty wild stuff. Actually, I'll hook them up just for a second here, just to show you. If I can get this plug stuck in here. There we go. Alright, so see, the LEDs actually change colors. So this is one part, the LEDs. This is the, I think, 16.5 feet length, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take for this CB antenna I got here. I was also going to measure this thing and see how long this is, because I don't have a clue. But I'm going to wrap it all the way to the end, or try to at least. Alright, and this, I don't really know how they measured this, but it's 42.5 inches or so. It's kind of odd, but I don't think it's been broke, but it could have. You can see these things still doing stuff over here. So what our plan here is to, I'm going to strip all this stuff off, the black protective coating, the copper looking wire that's wrapped around here, and strip it all the way down. There's also a little plastic piece that's in here too, because my fear, some of the people online look like they just wrapped it in between these little grooves, but I'm thinking that I can get more LEDs on there if I press it all the way up to beside one another. And so what we're going to do is wrap these things around it, and then I've got some clear heat shrink. I'll also leave a link to that in the description to go over top of this. This has already got a adhesive backing on it, and so it'll stick somewhat, but you kind of want to have all this stuff together when you get ready to put it on, so in case your adhesive starts coming loose, you can still hit it with that heat shrink. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and strip this thing off, and I'll cut the camera back on and let you show you what I find and what I get off of here. Alright, cut the camera on in a sec. Alright guys, I got it cut. This thing, like I said before, it's got a one rib that runs up and down through here. It's pretty close, and then there's one that kind of runs actually in the opposite direction, and it's just this plastic ribbon that's under here. If you take that razor blade and run right along the edge of that plastic ribbon, it makes it a lot easier to cut up under it, and it should pull right off there just like that. So it doesn't take much to get it off. Looks like I got one spot there that didn't cut all the way through, but and this stuff here is completely optional. Like I said in the first of the video, only reason I'm doing this is just so I can make sure I can wrap as many LEDs on this thing as possible. I'm thinking something's wrong with this CB antenna anyway. It's kind of rusted up. It looks pretty nasty here on the end, so I'm going to tear all of that stuff off, as well as this coil of wire here, and that way we'll just have just the fiberglass shaft remaining to wrap our LEDs around. So let me start pulling this thing off. Not sure how easy this is going to be or not, but I don't think it's going to be much to it because it's just stuck in the end here. Alright, flip that up. It actually kind of halfway pulls off itself. So it's got some tape in a couple spots. Just pull the tape off of it. Looks like there's some kind of heat tape or something on here. And then at the very end down here, it appears that this wire touches this coupler here. I'm thinking that's how it makes its connection. Let's see if I can pull that off or either cut it, just to get that very end disconnected. There it is. And so just twist it off there. Once you get so far, it'll just slide off. There you go. So there's your slinky of wire and your fiberglass shaft for the antenna. I may just clean this thing up. It's just got some oxidation or something on here. I'm gonna clean it up and then I'll cut the camera back on right before I start wrapping the LEDs up it. Alright guys, I just took the razor blade, ran up and down here and got all this whatever that shiny, looked like aluminum tape off of it. I'm sure that was something to do with the radio waves. And a little bit of goof off on it and cleaned it up pretty well. So now I'm going to start wrapping this thing. Naturally you want to start with this end with the controller on it. And this controller, these are actually two separate pieces. So like I said, you buy the LEDs and you buy this. It just plugs right together. And so you want to leave this hanging off, at least this tail part of it. So I'm going to start down here at the bottom with it. And I may end up, I might just grab me a piece of electrical tape just to tape this thing up just to get it started. And then we'll get going on the actual wrapping the LEDs. So let me grab some tape, tape this thing down a little bit, and then we'll start wrapping LEDs. Alright, so I've got this kind of tied up down here at the bottom. I want to get it, like I said, as many LEDs on here as I can. So I'm going to leave about a 4-inch gap at the bottom here before I start wrapping it. And then I'm just going to start, I pull the backing off of the LEDs, just start wrapping these things kind of tight on here, making sure that I get them pushed all the way together. And you can kind of see the LEDs are kind of lining up. They'll actually kind of go in a corkscrew, I believe, normally when you wrap these around like this. Alright, so just keep doing that. I'm not going to bore you with the details. I'll run it all the way up to the top, and then I'll show you how to go about cutting these. Alright guys, I've got this thing wrapped up here to the top now, and this is where we're going to cut it. And there's usually they have a line across here, and you can barely see it on this set, but there's a set of looks like little copper pads, and those are actually so you can connect. And it came with an extra connector that looks a lot like this. Connect to it and continue on with another strand, or actually connect two strands together and have a short little strand, whatever you want to do. But you want to make sure you cut it at that little mark right in the center of those little copper pads, or sometimes the LEDs on either side won't work correctly if you don't cut it in the right place. So it looks like this thing is going to work out right to the top. So I'm going to cut them right there real quick. I don't have any scissors with me, so cut that real quick, and then I'll cut the camera back on right before I put the heat shrink on. And you can just use normal scissors. Doesn't take any kind of wire cutters or anything like that. Line it up right on there and cut it just like that. This thing's going to be wrapped all the way to the top, so we got every single possible LED on here we could have. I I don't know if I'm gonna put a little piece of tape on the end of it or not. But all right, and this is what we got left over. Like I said, this is a 16.5 foot piece, and we've got about 6 foot of LED left over, and it does come with that additional wire that I told you about, and you can solder it on here and have you a little 6 foot piece if you want to. But I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'll definitely hang on to it because I don't throw anything away. But all right, now the next thing we want to do is put this heat shrink tubing on. Looks like we've got a little flyaway here on the end. I'm gonna have to stick some tape on that. So let me grab electric tape, wherever it is. I've had the worst time here lately keeping up with stuff. Alright, so put my little piece of tape on here, and hopefully I can get this heat shrink tubing to slide on here. Not 100% sure how that's going to go, but we will find out here shortly. So take this heat shrink tubing, and this is 3/4 inch. It's 20 feet. I just got 20 because it was not much more than 10 feet. So, and I got a pretty good idea this is probably not going to be the only LED light whip I make. So just feed this thing over here. These LED lights are a little bit sticky like, just the rubber they're made out of, so it's a little sticky going on there. I may actually put a little bit of lube on this thing to get it to slide on down, because it's almost like they're made out of the same material, the heat shrink and the LEDs, and it makes it grab a little bit as you go down. So see if I can find some lube. I'll cut the camera back on. I can't find any WD-40 right now. Alright guys, got it lubed up a little bit now. So a little WD-40 will help it slide on there a little easier. Actually, it slides on there a lot easier. And this 3/4 inch heat shrink will actually allow you to cover the plug, the little brain box. Although all this stuff's waterproof, it's still not a bad idea to go ahead and cover it off. Alright, I'm going to cut a little extra on the end here, and then now it's just a matter of firing up the old heat gun. Heating it up. Let's start down here on the business end. This thing shrinks up. That's what we got after the heat's applied, and that's what we started out with. So it went from 3/4, or actually 3/4 inch. No, that's, God, I can't get my finger in there. All right, that's about 1 inch, and it looks like it reduced down to, I don't know, maybe a little more than 1/4, 3/8 inch or something like that. So it pulled down pretty good. What I'm probably going to do up here is cut this off and get me a little plastic nipple to stick over the end of this, just so it has something to keep water from running out the end of it. Alright, so now the moment you all been waiting for. Let me see if I can back my camera stand up, and keep your fingers crossed that this works. And it does. Alright, so the way this remote works on this thing is there's actually 300 modes, and the first 150 go from the bottom to the top, and the last 150 go from the top to the bottom. So let me kill the lights, and I'll flip through a few of them to show you some cool ones. This thing's pretty dang bright. So flip through the modes on it. See all the different colors, and then I really like the stacking ones, and it actually has a way. I'm gonna have to figure out how to do all this, but it has a way to select certain ones, your favorites, that you can click through, and I'm sure my son will want to do that for his. So pretty much can do each one of these patterns in a different color is how it works. See if I can get to a stacking one. Goodness, there's a bunch of them. There we go. So you can see how they're stacking up. This is the white one. Then this should be some other color. So there you go, guys. Pretty simple LED light whip. I do have a couple other things I'm going to do to this thing. I bought a connector here, a quick disconnect. CB, it's for CB antenna. So you push down on it and twist it and pull this out, because I'm not sure if we're going to leave this in there all the time or what we'll do. So I did buy that, and that's pretty much it. I've got about, well, like I say, somebody gave me the whip antenna, and I've actually found another one since then. So the antenna was free. I think the lights were about maybe $20, a little over 20 bucks, and the controller here with the remote was a little over 10. And I'm not real sure about the heat shrink, but I'll post all these in the description. And I'm going to get back on some more four-wheeler videos. Actually going to probably start putting the motor together tonight. I've just been working on a bunch of random stuff, and it's been a lot of troubleshooting stuff too, and I'm not trying to run y'all around with me trying to figure out what's wrong with something. So I'll get back on a Kawasaki motor I'm going to put together, and you guys hit the like button, subscribe. Got any questions, let me know. Like I say, I'll post links to all this stuff in the description, and go out and make you a cheap antenna, probably I don't know. I don't even know what these antennas cost, but you could probably do one about $50 or something like that, I'm guessing. All right. Y'all have a good night.